Hey everyone, it's been a while. My name's Mitch, and today I'm going to tell you about the most obese man in recorded history. As always, I will point out this video is strictly informative and is not intended to be bullying of those who are obese. Here we go. John Brower Minnoch was born September of 1941 in Seattle, Washington. At birth, he was your typical newborn boy, weighing in at roughly 7 pounds. Now, I'm not sure what happened between then and age 12, but by that time, John weighed nearly 300 pounds. His weight continued to soar throughout the years, and by 22, he was 6'1" and weighed nearly 400 pounds. And then he got to 700 pounds. Things came to a tipping point when he was just 36 years old. In March of 1978, John listened to his wife's pleas to go to the hospital after 3 weeks of being bedridden. In order to get John to the University of Washington Medical Center, it took more than 12 firefighters and rescue personnel. They even had to remove a window and use a modified stretcher to extract him from his own home. Once he arrived to the hospital, he was placed on 2 hospital beds where it took 13 healthcare workers to roll him. He was diagnosed with massive edema, which is essentially a large accumulation of fluid in the body, respiratory failure, and heart failure, which would explain the weeks of fatigue and bed rest. Now, weighing John was impossible in this setting, so an endocrinologist named Robert Schwartz had to make an educated guess. He estimated that John weighed a staggering 1,400 pounds, and later stated that John actually probably weighed even more than that. John stayed in the hospital for 2 years on a heavily calorie-restricted diet. Upon discharge, he had lost over 900 pounds, and he was excited for a second chance at life. Unfortunately, however, less than 1 year later, he was readmitted, and he was back up to 952 pounds. John eventually passed just 2 short years later from a heart attack brought on by respiratory failure and restrictive lung disease. He was 41 years old. John's journey through life is yet another example of the body's sheer will to survive. He was laid to rest in 2 plots at Mount Pleasant Cemetery, where his headstone reads, "Beloved husband, father, and friend."